Today, are you inflicted with the dreamer's disease? If you are, what to do about it and make it work for your life and your business. Get that trash out of your life. You have legacies to build. We grew that business from 3.4 million to 17.1. Horsepower, not horse shit. You want to be the parent that's an ally. They don't need another friend. Not everybody's cup of whiskey. Toughest advice for the toughest businessmen. Be relentless. Another beautiful autumn morning. It is a total gift to get up and put on your shoes and get out here in nature and get out in the sunshine and just have this solitude time, 15,000 steps. It takes me 70 minutes. What a way to start my day. Time with my golden gut, time to think, time to problem solve, and time with my creator. So when I was 12 years old, one Saturday, my best friend Stephen Myers and we decided that we were going to have a garage sale at the bottom of my driveway. We're going to make some money, and we thought the best way would be to have a garage sale where we sell some of the stuff at home that we weren't using and make some cash. So I'll never forget it. He stayed over that night. We're only 12 years old. And we got up super early on the Saturday. We got up like at 5:30, 6 a.m. And we dragged all of this stuff out of the garage, out of the shed. And then I took my mom's pots and pans and all of her cookware out of the kitchen for some reason. I have no idea why I did this. I think I wanted to make more money. He had all this great stuff from his place. I remember he had some of his mom's cookware. He had some of his dad's sporting stuff, golf equipment. I don't know if his parents knew he had it or not. And we put price tags on everything, $2, $5, $3, maybe $10. And we put this couple of huge tables at the bottom of my driveway. And we stacked all of our stuff. We put all our wares out. And by 7 a.m., we were open for business. We made these huge Bristol board posters the day before at school, garage sale, 7 till noon, stop in and stuff. We had signs out on trees and just 12-year-old entrepreneurs. And we stood there, I'll never forget, from about 7 a.m. till probably 11 a.m. And we literally sold everything that was on those tables. And I remember my mom coming down the driveway with her house coat on. She had just got out of bed at like 8:30 in the morning, and she came down the driveway. And if you know my mom, she has an extremely sharp edge. And she came down the driveway and she lit into me about the fact that I had taken her pots and pans and her good cookware and I was selling it at the end of the driveway. So she grabbed some of it and took it back in the kitchen, and man, she was upset. And I'll never forget my dad, about 5 minutes later, mosey on down the driveway, not a worry in the world, walks up, looks at the tables, looks at the pricing, and he goes, "Well, I think you got a winner here." He goes, "You guys are going to make some good money," and which we did. And I'll never forget when the day was over. My dad, we were taking stuff. He said to me, "Sell everything in a garage sale so you don't have to put any of it back in the garage." He says, "That's the worst thing about these sales." He says, "You drag it all out. Make sure you don't drag it all back in." So it was priced to sell in the last couple hours, $1.50. Take it, leave it. He says we dragged it out. We're not going to drag it back in. So it was bargain prices at the end. And my dad, he put his arm around me at the end of the day. We were walking up the driveway with one of our last loads, and he says, "Well, you have it." And I was like, "I have what?" And he said, "You have what I've been inflicted with for the last 50 years or 40 years of my life." And I said, "Inflicted? What have I been inflicted with?" And he said, "You have the dreamer's disease." And I'll never forget that as long as I live. I was only 12 years old. He said, "You have the dreamer's disease." And down the road, he said, "You know, you have it and your younger brother has it as well." He said, "It's not even a choice." He said, "You've been chosen. You're going to be an entrepreneur. You're going to be a founder. You're going to be a builder. You're going to be a business owner. And that this life will choose you. It's already chose you at age 12. You aren't interested in working for anybody else. You have this passionate obsession with building and working for yourself, being your own boss. And you just want to go your own way. And you believe that you can run your own show. You want freedom, you want independence, and you don't want to answer to anybody. You have the dreamer's disease. And I remember that conversation like it was yesterday. And my dad was absolutely right. I went on to run tennis camps and hockey schools, lemonade stands, barber shops, window washing companies, restaurant business, insurance business, coaching and consulting business. We cleaned pools for a summer, grass cutting business. There really wasn't anything under the sun that we didn't test and try. And we'd create our own little company and we would make money, but we were free and we were working for ourselves, and I was being my own boss. And nothing's really changed. I mean, the only time I worked for the man is when I was coaching pro hockey and I was working for an owner. And in that particular case, after 2.5 years of, sacrificing my physical and mental health to chase a championship for that franchise, I was fired after 2.5 years because the team, the ownership group, fell into financial problems. And who's the first to go when there's financial problems? The high-paid head coach or the high-paid player. So that was a taste of, you know what? I don't have control. I don't have freedom. I don't have autonomy. I can wake up some morning and I'm fired whether the team's winning or losing. So that's when I made the course correction. After I was fired in pro, I made the course correction to control my own destiny, to achieve personal sovereignty, to seek personal sovereignty, to build my own world. And how did I do that? I did that by buying my own teams. I was not only the head coach of my 2 junior franchises, but I was also the owner. So I had job security. I was the boss. I didn't have to answer to anybody. And it's always been the same for me. When I entered the insurance business, I was more than happy to learn the business from the front door to the back door. My dad didn't hand me anything. He had me answering phones and processing paper and working grueling hours, but I had the long-term plan of being my own boss. I had the dreamer's disease. I knew what I wanted to do with the insurance agency, with the family business, once I was owner and in control. Same thing with my barber shop. Same thing with my Perth Blue Wings hockey team. I've always wanted to be my own boss. The part of the equation that my dad did not mention to me when I was 12 years old, and I'm probably glad he didn't, is the dark side of entrepreneurship. And it's the side of life that I am so glad. Like, there's not a day that I regret. There's not a day I would trade with any other man on this planet. So when I talk about, the stress and the frustration, the quiet desperation that we all go through as businessmen and entrepreneurs, you have to understand at the end of the day, I wouldn't trade this for anything. I wouldn't do anything differently. Sure, there's some decisions you would change if you could, but at the end of the day, I mean, being an entrepreneur, being in charge of your own destiny, chasing personal sovereignty, there is no other life. But it's also accurate thinking to say, it is a hard path to take. And it's a path that is not for everybody. It's for a man like you, but it's not a path for 99% of the ordinary people who would rather get a paycheck, go home at 5 p.m., relax, have a few drinks, and not worry about anything else. And there's a cost to that as well. People say, you work so much, you pay the price, you never stop, you just work, and they look at that as sacrifice and paying the price. But what they don't understand is there's a price to be paid for not maximizing your personal potential. There's a price, boredom, lack of wealth, lack of freedom, lack of autonomy, lack of personal sovereignty. So you may be paying a price like I am, we live it, we breathe it, we deal with it, and everything that comes with it. But I'll take that over the price of unused potential, of a life that wasn't lived to its fullest. As an entrepreneur, you're living your life to the max. You're worried about 10xing your business. You're worried about profits. You're worried about payroll. You're worried about learning the next marketing idea. But it's an extremely demanding life. It's an extremely lonely life. I found pro coaching very lonely. I found amateur hockey coaching lonely. I found running an insurance agency lonely. I found all of these different things because we're such rare birds. We're lone wolves, if truth be told. And these are natural emotions that come up because we don't have many people on this planet that we can relate to. My life turned around mentally when I finally realized that I don't have anything in common with 99% of people on this planet. I don't have anything in common with 99.9% of people on this planet. If I go to a ball game, or I go to a family reunion, or I go to a cookout, or whatever I do, I'm there, I'm cordial, I talk to the people, it is what it is. But I don't have anything in common with 99.9% of the people that are there. And we have to learn to live in the ordinary world for bits and pieces. You go to a wedding, you go to a Christmas party, you gotta go through those things. Sometimes you gotta bite your tongue and get through it, but that's just part of being different than everybody else. And when I finally stopped fighting it, I stopped fighting that I was different, and I stopped fighting that I had nothing in common with 99.9% of the other businessmen in this world, and I embraced it. My life completely transformed. My marriage transformed, my mental health transformed, my business transformed, even recently, my relationship with my daughter transformed. And I always remember, and I always remind myself of the incredible Sidney Crosby, one of the greatest hockey players to ever play the game, Pittsburgh Penguins star Sidney Crosby, who's won championships at every level, total cleaner. He's got 2 gold medals in the Olympics. He's got 2 Stanley Cups. He's got 2 World Juniors. Wherever he goes, championships follow. And Sidney Crosby was picked, I don't know how long it would be now, 14, 15 years ago. He was the next Gretzky. He was picked number one. He was the phenom. They had known him, so the media had known him since he was 10 years old. Incredible amounts of pressure, always under the microscope, always, results demand it. It's just if they lose, he's to blame. And one time he was sitting there in a press conference and one of the reporters asked Sid the Kid, they said, how do you deal with all the scrutiny? How do you deal with all the pressure? How do you deal with living in a bubble? And how do you live with the expectation that you have to win or else? And Sidney Crosby, in a rare, very candid moment, turned to the reporter and said, I want to be number one. I want to be the very best in the world. And I accept everything that comes with that. And I remember I paused the TV. I got out my Sharpie marker and I wrote that quote down in my journal and on a card, and it sits beside my desk. And I'll never forgot that quote. It was probably 10 years ago. I want to be the best. I want to be, number one, and I accept everything that comes with that. He accepts the pressure. He accepts the living in a bubble. He accepts the work. He accepts the 5 a.m. workouts. He accepts the good, the bad, the ugly, because I want to be one of the best ever. And he accepts everything that comes with that. Do you accept everything that comes with being a top 1% badass world builder? Or do you just want to accept the good things? Do you accept that you have to rise early every day? You've got to get in your steps. You've got to drink tons of water, a gallon a day. You've got to grow your mind every day by reading physical books and newsletters. Do you accept the fact that you have to execute Operation Money Suck every day for an hour, a minimum an hour? You're in the marketing business. Don't tell me you're in the flooring business or you're in the insurance business or you're in the retail business, or don't tell me that you're in the dental business. You're in the marketing business. So are you investing a minimum 1 hour a day in advertising, promotion, and marketing? That's called Operation Money Suck. Things that bring you money. Writing emails, shooting videos, designing websites, working on your phone scripts. Operation Money Suck. Do you accept the fact that, you have to shut off your phone at 6 o'clock at night so that you can invest in the legacy that matters the most, which is your family? No legacy is more important than the family that you create or don't create. Okay? Nobody's going to talk about in the future about your business. Nobody's going to talk about how much money you make. They're not even going to mention it. They're not going to remember it. And that's just today's world. But they will remember, if they do remember, your grandkids, your great-grandkids, and your great-great-great-grandkids. If they do remember you, if they remember your name, if they remember what you did, they'll remember a couple of things. They'll remember how many people you helped. They'll remember, did you serve people? And they'll remember the family legacy that you created. That's what they won't remember. There's no amount of money, there's no amount of success in this world that can compensate for failure in the home. Failure as a husband, failure as a father, failure as a grandfather, failure as a man who gives back. Remember that. There's no business success, no I'm in great shape success, no I've written 5 books or I make 6 figures. There's no success in your life that can compensate for failure in the home. Our real legacy, our real lasting legacy is created by who we serve and after 6 p.m. every night. After 6 p.m. What kind of an impact have you had for your wife? What kind of an impact have you had on your children? And who have you served through your business? Who does your business serve? Who do you help? Do you help children? Do you help teenagers? Do you help adults? Do you help people in need? Who do you serve? Do you motivate? Do you inspire? Do you teach? Do you volunteer? Who do you serve? That is the legacy with family that's going to be the thing that matters the most. Your legacy will be built or not built after 6 p.m. at night. When you come home, is the phone put away? Is there family dinner every night at 6 o'clock? Are you spending time? Are you sticking your nose in your kids' business? Are you spending time with them? Are you driving them places? Are you inviting them? Are you dating your wife? Are you dating your wife? Are you inviting your teenagers and your adult children to go places? Want to come with me here? Want to come with me here? Invite, invite, invite. If you're doing those things, you're going to be building a legacy that long outlives your human life. Your legacy is your children. You know, if they're hardworking, high character, high integrity individuals, there's your legacy right there. That's mission accomplished. If your great grandchildren are high work ethic, high character, high integrity people, and they end up being entrepreneurs who live a life of personal sovereignty, there's your legacy right there. There's your legacy right there. If your great grandchildren grow up to be incredible human beings who serve other people, who give back, who are selfless, who are compassionate, who are extremely hardworking, who are leaders, great mums, great dads, great leaders, personal sovereignty entrepreneurs, there's your legacy, man, right there. There's your legacy. Generation after generation after generation that started with you. It started with you. That's the legacy that matters. So I just want to let you know the dreamer's disease, I got it. I know you got it. There's no vaccination for it. There's no cure for it. Embrace it. You're different. You're different. You never shut it off. You never stop thinking about it. You sleep differently. You think about business on Saturdays. You think about business on Sundays. You know, you're a dreamer's disease addict. And if you're going to be addicted to something, I always say, like, I'm a book addict. I'm a success addict. I'm a serious student. I'm addicted to marketing. I'm addicted to reading. I'm addicted to walking. I'm addicted to copywriting. I'm addicted to promotion and advertising. Those are the addictions you need to introduce into your life with the dreamer's disease. You got the dreamer's disease. If I can say one thing, embrace it. Embrace the fact that you have nothing in common with 99% of people. I wear it now as a badge of honor. I'm like, you know what? You think Nick Saban goes to a barbecue and feels, you know, he hates that shit. He hates all that stuff. All he wants to do is two things, football and family. That's it. That's it. They talk about all the great coaches and how they're complete misfits in the regular world. Well, they're complete misfits because they're top 1% super achievers. You know, high achievers don't like mediocre people. Mediocre people don't like high achievers. So, you know, you're never, ever, ever going to fit in with Joe Average, and you shouldn't. And you shouldn't. And, you know, you have to be cordial and you have to be all these things to go to these things, and that's fine. But just remember, embrace the fact that you're different. Embrace that you have the dreamer's disease as the ultimate gift. I couldn't imagine living another life. I couldn't imagine not standing on a dock and talking to you. I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't imagine working for the man. I couldn't imagine getting up and driving to work and sitting in a cubicle and coming home. I couldn't imagine cashing a paycheck and just getting by. I couldn't imagine a life without personal sovereignty. I just couldn't imagine it. So I am so grateful to my God that he has blessed me with the dreamer's disease. He has blessed me with a blessing, a curse, you want to even call it, to the day I die. I will have the dreamer's disease to the day I died. My dad worked to 85. He's 89 now. He's still thinking about stuff. He's like, do this. What about this? We should start up this. Imagine if we did this. He's got the dreamer's disease. Happiest man I know. Happiest man I know. Dreamer's disease. And if your children have this dreamer's disease, remember to embrace it. Don't push that stuff down. Don't say do this or don't worry about that, or that's too much, or you're thinking too big, or you're dreaming too big. Are you kidding me? If your kids have the entrepreneurial dreamer's disease, nurture that shit to the moon. Scale that to the moon. Share books, share podcasts, share your thinking. Ask them constantly, what would you do in this situation? What's your dream? What's your goal? What's your mission? How can you serve people? If your kids have the dreamer's disease, make sure that you as an entrepreneur are nurturing and scaling that. We need more dreamers. We need more badasses. We need more builders. We need more contenders. We need more lions in this world. So if you have the dreamer's disease and your kids have the dreamer's disease and your spouse has the dreamer's disease, man, make that a lifestyle and embrace it. Like the great Muhammad Ali said, pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. I tell my athletes that every day that I talk to them. Pressure is a privilege. The only people that don't have pressure are down the street in the graveyard. Every day, we're one day closer to somebody shoveling dirt on us, our life ending. And there is a last time for everything. There's a last time you'll say good morning to your wife. There's a last time you'll hug your children. There's a last time you'll go to work. There's a last time you'll enjoy a cup of coffee. There's a last time you'll pray. There's a last time you'll go to the gym. There's a last time I'll shoot a video out here in nature. So pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. To whom much is given, much is expected. I have been given so many blessings. My life is awash in abundance, in wealth and opportunity. Much has been given to me. So much is expected. And nobody can expect more from me than Michael McLean. Nobody. That's the standard you want to give to your children, is that expectation that nobody can expect more from them than they expect from themselves. The person in the mirror, the man in the mirror, the woman in the glass, the man in the glass. And pressure is a privilege. Pressure is a privilege. If you're feeling pressure, if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling demands, embrace it. You're different. You're living the greatest life possible. And sure, it's a challenge, but embrace that stuff. Embrace that stuff. Pressure is a privilege. I'm with Sidney Crosby. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be number one, and I accept everything that comes with that. Talking about accepting everything that comes with that, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with, period. I am and you are. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. That said, who are you going to spend time with in 2023, the brand new year? So if you're not satisfied with how much money you're making, you're not satisfied with parts of your personal life, maybe your marriage, maybe your relationship with your kids, maybe your physical health, maybe your mental health, maybe your time management, whatever it is that you're dissatisfied with, how are you going to associate with the people that will automatically improve that for you? We're the average of the 5 people. So if you need to upgrade your life, if you need to build a brand new world, the only way to do that is to associate with outstanding people. If you want to make 6 figures and 7 figures, you need to associate with 5 people that make 6 figures and 7 figures. If you want to get in the best physical and mental shape of your life, you have to hang out with 5 people that are in the best physical and mental shape of their life. If you want to build the world of your dreams, personal sovereignty, autonomy, control, you need to hang out with 5 people minimum that have personal sovereignty, autonomy, and control and independence. So where are you going to find these 5 people? They're not going to knock on your door. They're not going to come looking for you. You have to go find them. So where did I find 7-figure entrepreneurs? Where did I find kick-ass top 1% of 1% entrepreneurs, coaches? I found them in a mastermind. I found them in Bill Glazier and Dan Candy's mastermind. I invested $30,000 and I got in there and it changed the direction of my life. I went from 5 figures to 6 figures to 7 figures to an 8-figure net worth because of that mastermind. I have a brand new mastermind, new badass world builders, Go to badassworldbuilders.com. The link is below. Apply. 5 questions, $97 refundable deposit. You get your money back. There's no risk. I read your application. I get back to you within 7 days. You're in or you're out. You're going to be around 49 people that are driving to be the best version of themselves. Not even 49 brothers, because there's 50 people in this mastermind. It's for 12 months. You get to be coached by Yours Relentless. And you're the average of the 5 people that you hang out with, that you spend the most time with. Well, you're going to have the power of association with 49 brothers plus myself for 12 months. Do you think that's going to 2x your life, 5x your life, maybe 10x your life? Damn straight. We're the average of the 5 people. Hello, sweetie. Look at this coming out. This is my magic. That's my magic right there. Whenever I need a boost, whenever I need motivation, whenever I need inspiration, whenever I need something, this is my magic right here. Right, Emery? Mm-hmm. Yep. I remember when with the hockey team, if we needed some good fortune, if we needed some abundance, if I just needed some go, that was my magic. Emery's my magic. A gift from above. She's my magic. So apply below badassworldbuilders.com and I'll be back to you. You're the average of the 5 people. Who are the 5 people you're going to spend 2023 associated with? That's it. That's all. Remember to hug and kiss your wife and children, the most important people in your badass world. That's it. 2 words that changed my life. 2 words that will change yours. Be relentless.